Testing, 1 2 3 1 2 3. Testing, 1 2 3 1 2 3. Alrighty then. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and all those in between. Welcome back to Spartan 923 Gaming. I am your host, Spartan 923, aka Firehawk 5150, aka Lucas, and we are back in Assassin's Creed, where we had just taken out another member of the Simbuk Fu. I'm always gonna say it weird, aren't I? But anyway, also, for this episode, as you can see, birthday murder. Because our good friend Freddy's birthday is actually happening right now. They are over in it. They are currently over in a different timeline where it is actually May 11th. So their birthday's happening at this moment. So I thought it'd be nice if I went out and took out a few bad guys for happy birthdays. So yeah. And on a surprising note. My good friends at Thousand Face TTRPG are going to be starting up a stream soon. So we are going to drop them a friendly raid after the stream so that we could show support and be palsy wowsies, of course. Always happy to help out a friend when I can. And they are a good bunch of people. I've known Ethan and Lauren for a decent amount of time. It's not that we're on like a regular talking level, but we do go to cons around the same times and hang out when we can. So they've been through most of my cosplay career and stuff like that. Anyway, let's get to the schedule. Schedule is Tuesday we will be back in Monster Hunter Wilds, which we're probably in the last few episodes of that, if not the last. We shall see. Then Ark Ascended, we will be starting the Great Split, which we will go over everything in the beginning. And then that Saturday we will be back in Assassin's Creed once again as well. So super excited. Anywho, we are one away from our follower goal, even though I think that one is a bot. But hey, I'll take it for now. Gets us closer. And then we have our 10 subscriber goal, guys. Remember, subscribing helps us out a lot. It helps get rid of those ads for you, and it helps us get our servers paid for, our maintenance paid for, our baby food and diapers paid for the little guy who you've all seen. And yeah, so it really helps us out a lot. And with that, I really have nothing else to say, so we're going to go ahead and get on into the game. See you at Soundcheck. All right, 1 2 3 1 2 3. Oh man, those are pretty nice. 1 2 3. Yes. Oh, seems like I'm gonna have company before I get started. Is someone coming to say goodnight?
Yes. He's a little snotty.
Oh.
Snotty boy.
He's literally snotty. He's not being a snob. He's being snotty.
He's snotty.
Yes. Oh, you got your bow wows on.
He's got doggies on.
Someone seems to be a fan of. I keep forgetting who those two twin VTubers are. The two girls that go bow bow. Foa Coco, I think. I don't remember. I'll probably remember something. Oh, another person I'm not associated with, but I've watched their stuff. Hey, Bray, one of the people watching's birthday is happening right now.
Oh.
Her name is Freddie.
Hey.
Her name. Her name is Freddie, and we just want to wish her a happy birthday. Because Daddy's gonna do murder. So, happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday. Okay. All right, let's let you get to sleepy, okay? Yeah, you're gonna have breakfast with Daddy, then you're going over to Grandma's tomorrow while he does the shopping in the backyard.
Oh, careful, Bubsy.
Yeah, I got him. Oh, you gonna give that to me now? Okay. All right, buddy.
Oh, you're so sleepy.
So sleepy.
You're so sleepy.
Okay, you go get a good night's sleep, and I will see you in the morning.
Okay, Daddy.
Alrighty. Okay. So that lovely adorableness done, we're going to get back to it. All right. Cola. Cola good. Oh yeah, headphones. Forgot. I hate this part. Ah! On the Monday to the Wednesday to the Friday, Saturday. Why am I singing that song? Good friend, Double Dragon. He's up and running. Yes, friends. Okay, yeah. Thousand Faces TTRPG is up and running. So if you guys want to go check them out, you're more than welcome to. I will not be upset, but I am going to prep them for the raid later. Because I like to have my stuff ready. Faces cosplay. Thousand Faces. TT. RPG. There we go. Awesome. We'll raid them later. Sakamoto Days. I'm sorry, I have had the show Sakamoto Days stuck in my head for a while, and the theme song's ending is just, ugh. I like it. I like them a lot. Okay, let me get all relaxy here. Alright, so where am I going? Simbukfu. Yes, we want to go get the cute girl. Let's do it. You can tell when it's when spring's becoming summer because the baby ladybugs or bonsai, well, they're not bonsai beetles because bonsai beetles are actually the ones that burn the hell out of you. There's some type of beetle that looks like a ladybug and they're actually very mean. Sakamoto Days. So, is there a closer path? Oh, there is. Oh, hell yeah, we're gonna fast travel. Duh. I've got birthday murder to do. Cola. Sorry. It's not Coca-Cola or Pepsi or anything like that. It's actually just an off-brand cola that I drink. It's really good. It's cheap. It's really good. Flying Dragon. I approach her and I'm all wet. That's just oh.
Orihime, there you are. Impressive view. It is. This place. Your mother? My mentor. Ah, Sugitani Zenjubo. He taught me the teppo. I shouldn't have
Aw.
intruded. I'll come back. No. No. It is fine. It's just...
Aw.
What? I need sake for a grave offering. My father drank it all. He
Yeah.
did seem different. But don't worry. I'll find some.
Sake. I will tell you, not to kill the mood here, but I love sake. Sake is a drink that if I could afford it, I would have it at most. Well, the thing is, I can afford cooking sake. I cannot afford drinking sake. And the thing is, I don't really drink much. So if I have sake, it's for a good damn reason. And most of the sake I use is for cooking. So unfortunately, I don't drink a lot of sake. But when I do, I love sake. Warm or
I
cold?
need to find
Depending.
some sake for Katsuhime.
It all depends. Sometimes I love the rice wine burn, but also I don't mind it cold. But it has kind of a different flavor when it's cold. So it's kind of, how can I describe this? When it's warm, it's lighter, and when it's cold, it's heavier. It it just tastes really heavy, and so yeah, it kind of gets me.
An underground storage chamber. There could be some sake here.
A sake.
This should make a fine offering for Katsuhime's mentor.
Should nobody regret. Hmm. She's waiting for me. Oh, so sweet. Contemplating birthday murder, and I'm giving a girl a drink. So sweet.
said you wanted to join my Kakushibaiki. I said I might want to join. Who do I get to kill? That's not our purpose. We're trying to build a better, more peaceful world. I know. I jest. But look, the Ikoiki were smashed. Enryakuji was burned to the ground. The daimyos bicker and the endless wars, well, they never end. So what does your Ikki have to offer me, other than a swift and violent death?
Ooh.
Time. With me. Oh. I'd like that. Me too. Alright, Eigahime. I'll try it out. If you do something for me, meet me in Wakasa. I have some friends you should meet. You have friends? Yes, Naoe. I do. The Rokkaku name is known across Omi and beyond. Yes, the great Rokkaku clan with no castles left. Don't worry, I'll be there.
I am the Red Dragon. Ah. Ah, Red Dragon. That is relatively high. Obama. I miss that president. And that's about as political as we're going to get. All right, here we go. I can finish my drink. Ah. Sorry. Pollen left over from the day. Well, that's it for the cola. Just not the same. I've actually been doing good staying off the soda, but I really wanted cola today. So now back to the healthy water. Fruit sweat, as my dad calls it. That's what my dad calls this stuff. He calls it fruit sweat. It's like someone sweated an apple and made it a drink. Astride my red dragon, Suryo beast. I make my way further into the country to find my new girlfriend and her friends. I leave a golden orange. So I get powers. I don't think that thing gave me anything, but... Dear. Now we're down to the 2,000 meter mark. Still a couple of things I gotta take care of in that place. Thanks for the tea set. So what was it that you were... Oh, what I was researching or got into? Okay. So I've recently been looking into the Franklin expedition. For those of you who don't know, there were tons of expeditions to the Arctic Circle regarding a passageway from England to the Orient. So they could bypass going around Cape Horn or going around Cape Hope of Africa. I believe that's what it's called, Cape Hope, Cape of Good Hope, or whatever. Because the African Cape is apparently very dangerous, and also to avoid having to go through at the time the Ottoman Empire, because of trade restrictions and stuff like that. or just unrest, I believe. I'm not an expert on this. Do not claim I'm trying to be an expert, because I'm not. I'm just going to talk about what I know, and anything I'm wrong on, people are welcome to correct me on. So, anywho, the Franklin Expedition. The Franklin Expedition was one of the last big missions to the Arctic to find the Northwest Passage. If that sounds familiar, because that's what I named one of my train routes in Ark, which was inspired by that. So, I I kind of want to stop here. Hang on. I would like to say, I'd recently gotten involved with that because of a show called The Terror. And The Terror is a show that is based on a book about the Franklin Expedition. Before people at me, I'm going to tell you the book is fiction. It is fiction because, number one, it involves supernatural stuff. And two, because no one really knows what happened. I mean, we have our presumptions and our factual stuff that we have found out. But there is no concrete... Well, there's several concrete things that happened that I can delineate. There are a few things like we don't know how Franklin died. We don't know how... we don't know if anyone made it to where they were going to go and just ended up staying over there. So, anywho... is that like a wedding? Hang on. These are like temple people. If Inuyasha's taught me anything, those two are like temple guardians, aren't they? Or shrine maidens. Shrine maidens. That's the word. My mistake. So the Franklin expedition started in England with two ships, the Erebus and the Terror. The name of the show I was watching is actually called The Terror. And so is the book that it's based off of. So, there you go. Terror, Terror, and Terror. Anyway. So the Erebus and Terror. The funny thing is that Franklin had been on an expedition to the north trying to find the passage once. And he actually failed really bad to the point of which they got ice locked, had to leave, and because of bad planning on their rations and all that, he ended up having to eat his boots. So there was a joke that he was the man who ate his own shoes. So he kind of wanted redemption on that. Well, he wasn't picked as the first guy, as I believe the first one ended up saying that he no longer wanted to travel to the north because of his wife. The second person said he was just done with north travel altogether. And then I believe it was... I believe it went down the list. I think he was like the fifth option was Franklin. And I believe like the third or fourth option ended up being his second. Mostly because of his status. Kozer, I believe, is his last name. So Kozer, who is Irish, and a bit... he wasn't a bad captain. He was a pretty decent captain from what they say. But because he was Irish and of low birth, he didn't really fit in. So he's one of those people that had to make their way, so to speak. And then there was... Fitz something. I can never... Fitz Jacobs, I believe? I think it's Fitz Jacobs. I may be wrong. But it's not like his true name. I believe he was born out of an affair. He was disowned by his family. he was renamed and ended up like making his way through. He got some famous guy's son out of trouble, and ended up it ended up like getting a favor out of him to like let them join the Royal Academy or have them recommend him to the Royal Academy and stuff like that for naval and all that. But long story short, he's on there too. So they set out from England to, I'm not going to remember all the places, but they got like up to the Canadian north, like past Greenland and up into where the passages is. And before, some people say that the Northwest Passage is never found or discovered. No, the Northwest Passage was found actually by one of the people who who tried to rescue the Franklin expedition, which never was found. No, it was eventually, but I'll explain that in a little bit. Ooh, I wrecked a fence. I don't want to fight you. Oh, damn.
That was a good fight.
No, it wasn't. But anyway, the Franklin expedition, or as some people like to call it, the Franklin Massacre. No, that's not true. The Franklin expedition set out with like top of the line stuff. The Terra and Erebus were fitted specifically for this mission. Top of the line ships, old battleships, turned into exploration ships, and just top of the line, reinforced hulls, steam engines and propellers, tons of 3 years of food and supply, just amazing effort put into everything. Or so you'd think. Funny
This
thing
place
is,
in ruins. Was it pirates? Katsuhime, are you alright? What happened here? I am good, but my friends, Master Zenjubo's family, are missing.
oh, I don't think I
Sugitani
could do this.
Zenjubo was your Teppo mentor. He's dead, isn't he? Yes, but my father and I have been hiding his wife and son here
Ah,
for 9 years. 9 years? But why? Because 9 years ago, my father paid Master Zenjubo to assassinate Oda Nobunaga with his Teppo, and he missed. Don't worry, we'll find your friends. Yes. There must be signs of Sada and her son. Let's look.
anywho. I didn't want to fight you.
The enemy is above.
Kamagawa Juk Juk.
I can't wait for you forever.
Yeah, go away. So, from what I know is that what came down to it was, as far as the issues with the expedition, ended up being I'm not in conflict. But I'm not.
I can't wait for you forever.
Then go away.
Doesn't look like a show.
Are you afraid of me?
Very much so. Oh, you found me.
I'll seize the moment.
Oh, there is a drawing moment too. Oh, beautiful.
I must approach carefully. I need to be quiet.
Okay, so with the expedition, so the first time they get to a place. The last time they're seen is by a group of whalers, just heading into a bay, and then that's the last reported contact by what some people would say are reputable people, which isn't really fair.
I need a closer look. I need to be quiet. Perfect spot.
So what it is so they end up going near this place called Beachy Island, where where they're iced in and unable to move, and they lose 3 people to presumably tuberculosis, and they get snowed in there, and then eventually they loosen out and they get moving as fast as they can. So they end up going up to King William's Land, is what it's called at the time, but they don't know that it's actually King William's Island. Hardy har har. And
Your friends were taken. But
So-
where? Toward the woods at the edge of the village. I'll save them.
I don't think I could be of any help.
This is the way up the temple. That should set you free. Thank you, Lady Katsuhime. Wow. Yes.
So,
Times we thank you. And your retainer. Retainer? The Rokkaku clan swore to protect you, and so we have. This is my associate. Associate? Naoe. From Iga.
Thank you, too.
So the pirates wanted Master Zenjubo's teppo. It's that valuable?
Yes. After Oda Nobunaga executed my husband, he had it gilded and engraved, and named it the Jaws of the Crocodile.
Why
Ah.
that name? The bullet grazed his body but spared his life. He described it as escaping the jaws of a fearsome beast.
Yes. And then he put my husband's teppo on display in Azuchi Castle to remind himself of the way of heaven.
That's a bold thing to do. So where is this teppo now? In Azuchi?
No. After Nobunaga's death, it was stolen and taken to Omizo Castle.
My mentor's teppo. I didn't know it was missing. I must steal it back. He was my mentor. It is something I should do. Alone. How exactly did he die? After his failed assassination attempt, he ran. But eventually, they caught him. Oda Nobunaga ordered his head sawed off with a bamboo stick. Oh, he wanted it to take a long time and hurt very much. I hate the demon of Owari. Katsuhime. This is what it means to be in the Kakushibaiki. We help each other. Let me help you recover the teppo. Let me help you avenge your mentor. Admit it. You just want to spend more time with me.
Yes, absolutely I do.
I do. I treasure your eyes, your voice, the faint reek of gunpowder, and your ability to laugh at yourself. And others. But mostly yourself. Now, you are not usually this much fun. I ought to get going. Duty calls. I understand.
Sorry,
What about
I
your
will continue
mentor's
talking.
teppo? Meet me near the gates of Omizo Castle when you are ready. There is a house with a good vantage point. Your mentor's teppo is as good as ours.
Okay, so the Franklin expedition. So they lost key guys on Beachy Island. Then, as they were getting up to Queensland, they sent out a group with a capsule. I guess you could describe it that. A canister would probably be better, because capsule sounds a little sci-fi-y. But a canister that had a message saying, this is current status, all is well, Franklin's still leading, we're all good, we lost these many people, which is, honestly, losing a few people is kind of a thing, so, especially on these expeditions, scurvy being rampant, and one of the most horrible things to happen. But they planned for that. They had canned food, they had lemon juice, they were all ready to go, and they had tons of stuff, and canned food was a big thing. It worked on other expeditions, so they were super excited about it. But herein lies a problem. The company that they hired for the expedition wasn't the highest bidder. It was the lowest bidder. And lowest bidder means this person said they had to get it like in 2 weeks or like 10 days. So it was a very short amount of time. And they said, yeah, sure. So here's the problem. These cans are sealed with lead.
Have a look.
So the companies sealing these items have decided, they went ahead and just sealed them up, and some of the lead actually leaked in, or they didn't properly seal. So what shouldn't have been a rush job.
Items to suit all tastes.
I'm done talking to you. So there's technically lead or bad seals, and unfortunately, I will say right now, lead poisoning is brutal. from what I've heard is that the way it takes you down is you start absorbing it to the point of which your gums turn black. You start feeling like lackadaisical, or just not lackadaisical. Very. Sometimes you feel really giddy, or very paranoid, or very agitated. It's not a real good way to go, and so these guys are getting food poisoning, lead poisoning, botulism from rotten food, and scurvy. So over time, they just whittles their numbers down to the point of which they get to a point where the ice just traps them again, and they're going to be stuck for another winter. So now this plan is kind of gone up, and during this time, Franklin dies. We don't know. From what the show shows, some mystical beast came, ripped his leg off, and threw him down an ice hole. But that's not how it happened. He died for unknown reasons. It was not mentioned because they rewrote the letter that they had in the canister before, stating Franklin died. This is what's happened. This is our plan. So they end up abandoning the Erebus and the Terror, and left a few people there saying, here's what we want you to do if you get free. Sail south as hard as you can. And if you're there, you'll be close enough to the mainland where we're trying to go, or you will make it through this passage and be the people to discover it. Because Kozer, who is in charge at this point, and Jefferson, or Fitzroy, whatever his name is. It's Fitz something. I keep forgetting it. And they have him, James Fitzjames, I think. I think it's Fitzjames. And they have him in command of the Erebus because poor Franklin didn't make it. And so, unfortunately, but could have been a lot worse, I guess. Well, actually, it does get worse. So, they end up leaving the ships. Number one, because here's what happens to wooden ships and ice. When the ice closes around you, you think ice just stays still, right? Not on moving ocean. In moving ocean water,
Where could she be?
in the moving ocean, the ice actually shifts, and you could end up having your ship crushed out from under you, and not even know it. Luckily, the Terror and the Erebus are well equipped for that, but there are a few tiny issues with the Erebus and the Terror. That, number one, their size. Their size is so big that it made basic sailing really difficult, especially in these straits that are very low draft, very unpredictable. And so these ships just made it very... You had to be very super careful about what you did. Happy birthday. So that was slow going. Then it came down to their engines. Now, everyone thinking steam engines. Oh, big boilers and stuff like that. Yeah. Not these. These were not maritime engines. These were, maritime meaning sailing engines. These were train engines. They just took them off of a train. And just like, yeah, this will work. So they didn't have the power to do what they needed to. So the engines were severely underpowered. And were burning more fuel than they actually need than what they had. So now, that's again, the size of the ship worked against them, unfortunately. Brilliant concept, better thought was needed. So, long and short, the ships were good, but not infallible. And therein lied the problem. So, then, of course, the food. The food became an issue. They eventually sent out hunting parties. How'd that happen? It's like I went after him and my body said no. But they would send out hunting parties, but there's another thing. So you heard I mentioned botulism before. Funny thing, there's several types of botulism. One of them being botulism E. And botulism E is big in the Arctic, meaning anything you get could possibly have it, and you have to know how to cook it properly. So, unfortunately, if these guys did get it, they had to make sure that they prepared said meat properly so that they didn't get botulism from that. So, unfortunately, it was everything against us. And I believe there's a quote from Kozer saying, I'd like to say, from a good friend, this land wants us dead.
I think I'm in danger.
You're very much in danger. And the thing is that they stayed in good spirits as best they could. Now, but Kozer had been, number one, his reputation on the line and being a person of low birth and of Irish who has to prove every day. Back then, being Irish was bad. It shouldn't be because, there's nothing wrong with being Irish. I've got a little bit in me myself. And thing is that, but in Britain, if you were Irish, you were just seen as a dreg, and it's not cool. So, but the funny thing is that I will recommend the show, The Terror. One, it does kind of have a historical accuracy to it in the sense of how a ship is ran and all that. I will say that. There is a lot of fiction, though. So don't take it as, oh, this is how it was. And the reason I say that is because there is a fake monster. There is a monster in the show. There is a monster called the Tungbak. And Tungbak. That's how it's said. Tungbak. And don't ask me how to spell it. I don't know how to. It's like Tunnaq. No, Tungbak. Tunnbaq. And yeah, that's the monster. It's this creature of starving vengeance, where it is a spirit of hunger and oh, these guys are just unbeatable. but it's they say it's a spirit in the form of an animal, and that's the only way I could describe it. A lot of people say it's man bear pig. It's I wouldn't say that, but I could see why they would say that. But it's not man bear pig. Oh, that did nothing good for me. Okay, so, Tungbok. The Tungbok, ends up hunting them because it is a spirit of vengeance, in a way, because the shaman ends up getting shot by one of the crewmen on accident, and he is the shaman that keeps the Tungbok in line. It is its voice, so to speak. It speaks to it. Because since the gods will no longer speak to it, a shaman has to speak to it to keep it reined in. And with this man dead, now the person that keeps the thing reined in is no longer alive. So, it is not good for the Franklin expedition. So,
What was out there?
So, as you can guess, things start going bad. People think it's a bear. People think it's some sort of hocus pocus by the Inuit people. I don't want. They do use the other term in the show. I'm not going to try to use that because it's not a good term from what I hear. I don't even know what its meaning it means. But it's pretty much the equivalent of saying the N-word to Inuits. So you never want to say that. I'm not in conflict. Puppy.
Good boy.
So, yeah. So, in the show The Terror, it's got this mystical creature named the Tumbok, and it's now going after the Franklin expedition.
What are you doing, Katsuhime? So reckless.
Oh boy. I broke it though. Oh. Hey, that's my leg. I'm not gonna beat him, am I?
Worry, Frotaku. Your suffering will soon end. What an honor for you to be executed by Senjubo's own weapon.
I'm not gonna be able to beat them, am I?
Katsuhime's in trouble. Better to keep out of sight. Katsuhime! I'm coming! running out. I need to get to Katsime now. I will cut you down.
Hold still!
Wow. So, with the Franklin expedition, it all goes south from there. Depending with the real expedition, they end up abandoning the ships and taking all the canned food with them, unfortunately, and start walking towards a trail that's known to have a trading area. But it's like hundreds of miles away, like maybe thousands of miles away. It's like a huge trip. And so they have sledges and everything else to try to fall in line with and all that. It is not going to be an easy trip for anyone.
I'm onto your tracks. I am ready for you. You die today. Curse you!
So, So, with the Franklin expedition, they leave and are now dragging ships, like not ships, but lifeboats, out across just this limestone, granite, just this patch of land that's just, it's a wasteland. It is terrible. Nothing there at all. And as I said, at this point, they went back to a cairn, a stack of stones that they had buried that cylinder in, and they rewrote the letter that they had set there like several years before, and said, "Hey, it's all gone to pot. We can't fix this. We are in trouble. We need your help. We are going this way." And that was what they found initially. So, and then another one group of people went after them and had found Inuits who had seen them, and they say, "Yeah, we did, and unfortunately this happened." And they're like, "What?" So what had happened was, they showed them a bunch of things that they initially discovered from the crew and said, "This is where we found it." And they took them to a campsite. From what they had seen, the Inuits said, "We found 30 dead men, and in their cooking pots they found human remains. They had ran out of food to the point of which they were eating each other." Yeah, not good. So, unfortunately, that's how it goes at times. So, unfortunately, that is what has happened to the Franklin expedition. That we aren't sure if any made it to the place they were going to, and if so, if they would have even made it back to England. Doesn't mean that they did or didn't, but no one has come forth about it. And the thing is that back in that day, no English sailor would ever admit to the idea of being so lost that they would resort to cannibalism. Charles Dickens was immensely upset at that, to the point of which he wrote off the information given by the Inuits as these are brutally horrible people that don't understand what life is and have no concept of human decency, to the point of which they would even think that an English sailor would resort to such foul things. And I'm summarizing, paraphrasing. His was something a little bit more put together. But I would say he pretty much said that they're natives. They don't know anything about us. But several, years later, and I'm probably thinking a lot of years later, people went and found the bones and saw that there were cuts and marrow breaks. And what is a marrow break? A marrow break is where someone has cracked the bone specifically to get to the bone marrow. And that's just where the desperation is. So, unfortunately, these men they exhumed a few bodies and found there was immense lead poisoning and signs of botulism, E and the regular, and just yeah, these guys just had it rough, unfortunately and tragically. I mean, these guys and it's a sad fact that this kind of thing happened. And but I do know that both ships have been found. I think 2014, the Erebus was found. And in 2016, the Terror was found. Ironically, in Terror Bay, which was named after the HMS Terror. Funnily enough. But the funny thing is that no one knew that the Terror was there. So that's the ironic thing about it, is that the Terror wasn't there.
You will fall.
I need to save my girlfriend, but geez, come on.
I need more hands.
Need to get her over here and just down there.
Have you found anything? I see nothing.
Dead. Maybe the killer's still here.
Move! Move! Damn it.
You overestimated.
I did overestimate you. That's why I was trying to be careful. I just want to save my girlfriend. But yeah, tragically, all hands were lost. And if you want to see just a good story, watch The Terror on Netflix. It's about 10 episodes long. And it's awesome. I got chills from it. And not even from the monster. It was just awesome to watch. Get up, get up, get up! I just want you all not to know I'm here anymore. And the thing is that the most I heard about the Franklin expedition, most mostly came from a song called "The Northwest Passage" by Stan Bush, a Canadian folk singer. Rest his soul. He died unfortunately in a plane crash. But he had a lot of people redo his song, and it's this really like hopeful, inspiring piece. And then you hear the true story. Well, then you hear the story about what happened with them, and oh my god. I know I can't, but I can try to get my girlfriend out of here. I got her safe.
I knew I could inspire you to greatness.
My success is entirely due to your teaching, Katsuhime-sensei.
Gotta get a lead ball out of your leg.
Anyway, you saved my life. So, I'm willing to give your Ikki a chance.
Are you sure it's what you want? You could retire from the martial life. Help your father rebuild.
No thanks. I've had my fill of his timeless wisdom. So, do you want me?
More ways than you know.
Rokkaku Katsuhime. I formally invite you into the Kakushiba Ikki.
It is an honor. Now what?
We have a place of our own for the Ikki. Join us there.
I will. But I want you to meet me somewhere first. It is important.
Oh.
Are you setting me up for a Kogaiga ambush? Maybe. Show up and find out.
Rawr. She cute. Wait a minute. Apparently, okay. Okay, so I just found out Activision has a player conduct notice about effective immediately teabagging and diddying are a bannable offense. Um, first off, teabagging is humiliating, but it shouldn't be bannable. It's just fun. I was big in the Halo games, so just grow up. But diddying, this sounds like it's needed. Excessive taunting movement after eliminations meant to harass or humiliate. Uh, well, that kind of sounds like teabagging too. So, I mean, I get it. Here's the thing, folks, is that even in video games, even though you are sometimes in a complete different state or even a different country, you should never be a bad sport. Because it'll come back and find you eventually.
I have goods, both local and foreign.
I will say, there have been people who have hunted people down because of a bad game. And I'm going to say right now, it is not a good thing to see. And, I mean, people have been murdered over this kind of stuff. So I'm going to say right now, and I plan to teach my kid this, don't insult anyone.
I will come back another time.
And number one, never make it accessible for anyone to come and find you. Never call anyone out to that point or anything. It's stupid. No one's worth it. A game is not worth it. I play video games for fun. People can tell me I suck all they want. I tell people, I have people that say I'm the worst gamer in the world. Great. I'm glad I am. It means I've accomplished something that you haven't. I will suck, and I'm good at it. So, anyway. But I digress. No, it's more just she's in Waxha. Satobo Gate. Why is she dragging me all over the place? So, I mean, I get where they're coming from. People nowadays are taking video games way too seriously. And even competitive gamers don't take the game that seriously. At least I hope they don't. Oh my god. But when you have 6-year-olds telling people they should sell their console, get rid of their account, never touch a video game again, and go hang themselves, that's where I have a problem. That is way too far. And the thing is that kids have done it. Kids have eliminated themselves because of this taunting, and these kids get off scot-free because they're like, I just told him to do it. I didn't say he had to do it. And they're not held accountable. And I've read some terrifying stories of bullying to that extent, to where schools give schools and the police give it a pass, even with clear evidence that they were telling them and motivating them and encouraging them to do it. And the thing is I say, if you are a bully and you are taking part in that kind of behavior, you should be locked up as an adult. I don't give a damn how old you are. If you are bullying a child and you push them to the point of where they commit suicide or hurt themselves, you should be tried as an adult. Because you're psychotic. You should not be manipulating people into doing stuff like that. And this goes to both boys and girls. Girls who think that it's funny to manipulate a guy or another girl into thinking that you like them and want them to be your friend and stuff like that, and then you turn around and embarrass them. You're just as bad as a boy coming up and telling some guy, "Oh, you don't like playing football or something. You must be gay or you must be this. Go hang yourself. No one wants you around." That's the equivalent of that. I don't believe anyone should be free of judgment on that, boy or girl. You're horrible people if you do that. I do not approve of anything like that. And I hope that if you are out there and you are a person who has caused this kind of trauma to somebody, that you get yours. I hope someone treats you just that bad. I hope the rest of your life you are treated horribly like that. There's no reasoning for it. Life's too short and too miserable right now for people to be treating other people like that. It's stupid. Anyway. Now that my rant's over, did I wrap up pretty much what happened with the Franklin expedition? I think I pretty much wrapped it up. Pretty much everyone died, and they found out that it was due to lead poisoning and scurvy. Now, here's the thing: is people like, oh, scurvy. Now, scurvy was a big deal, and when you hear the actual like symptoms of scurvy, it is horrible, especially with what they have to go through. Oh man, your teeth fall out, you get all these bruises, old wounds open back up. It is horrible. And just man, you have no idea just how, oh boy, I mean, your teeth fall out, your eyes sink in. It's not a glamorous. It's not glamorous at all. And I just, and the thing is, here's the worst part, is that they describe it in the show that I watched as some guy's like, I have this horrible feeling like glass in my arm. He's like, it's only gonna get worse. You're gonna feel it in every joint, everything. It's only going to get worse, to the point of which when people couldn't hold themselves up anymore, they would load them up into the boats and drag the boats, and since they weren't on a smooth surface on rocks, it would jostle them, and these guys would be like, and just in horrible racked pain and just terrible. Scurvy's a terrible way to go, man. I mean, and the thing is that I mentioned, they said lemon juice. They had lemon juice. Yeah, lemon juice only lasts for about a year, if not preserved correctly. And a lot of the cans weren't preserved correctly, weren't sealed correctly. So, unfortunately, these guys got really, really, really sick, really bad, and ended up finding out that the tins were making him sick. And then the sad thing is that anyone with scurvy that they couldn't carry along anymore, they'd pitch a tent, put the guy in there, and leave some food for him, and with the hope that they would come back. All those guys died. and I believe everyone died from the expedition. I don't believe any survivors. So, yeah, it's a tragedy. But, as I mentioned, something good came out of it. One of the further expeditions came through because they had people coming northways, westways, eastways, and southways to find him, to find the expedition. And sure enough, someone went around King William's Island and found the route that made it through. And so in the future, they made a statue of Franklin and they forged the last link. They found it. Someone ended up finding the Northwest Passage. Now, here's a funny thing: is once they figured it out, they then realized, due to the expedition, that it is not a conceivably good way to travel to the Orient. And around this time, I believe that the Panama Canal was underway or had been constructed.
Who is skilled enough to take my Yabusame challenge? A samurai proficient with horse and bow.
You offer Yabusame training here? Or is this just a show of skill?
I offer little instruction, but practice is the best training. But it is an impressive display of skill for a samurai.
I'll send my friend Yasuke. His skills are most impressive.
I will be the judge of that.
Oh. We'll deal with you later. But yeah. I mean, the idea of it. I mean, the idea of the exploration, all that, but also seeing the misery. They don't hold back in that show. A guy gets his legs, like, cut down to the bone, and they amputate it. They are cutting people's toes off with horrific frostbite. Oh, hang on. There's a picture.
I'll seize the moment. I must approach carefully. I need to be quiet. Good view from here.
Yes. 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 Oh, it's a heron. Yeah, so Netflix has the all the episodes of The Terror. Well, of the first season. They say there's a second season. I'm not sure what that one's about. I only wanted to see the Franklin expedition, and I was not disappointed. I loved it. Even the monster was interesting. The concept of a Tungbak is so interesting to me. And I just was, like, enamored with the show. I'm like, this is so interesting and all that. And it also had one of my... I can never remember his name, but he was also in Chernobyl. I loved him. He was awesome in that as well. So he played Legasov in Chernobyl. And I just loved him as Corso. Or Corvus. Not Corvus. Crusoe, the second captain, Crusoe, I think is his name, the Irish captain, and yeah, it was a good watch. I highly recommend it. I tell everyone that I know that are history fans, I'm like, look, it's fiction. It's based off a book that was written fictitiously. As kind of a what if we knew what happened, or what if this happened to them. So I thought it was pretty good for its concept. Now, a lot of people give it a hell of a lot of guff for the Tungbak. Well, when you're going off a book that has this character in it, I don't think it's too bad. But if you really want a die-hard history thing, they're like, they should have just made a polar bear. They should have made a polar bear and just cut out everything with the Inuit and all that. I'm like, oh, the Inuit was kind of part of the story. And they also talk about have like mutiny happen in it and all this other stuff, and just the lead poisoning leading people do crazy things. Like there was one scene where they show the madness of it, where there's one guy. I believe he's a diver, for like a maintenance diver to repair the propellers and stuff. Like get ice from behind the propellers if they jammed up, and he ends up. They show this sequence where he he's underwater, and he looks. And earlier, a man fell from the rigging and froze to death in the water and submerged. And a little down the way, something goes wrong with the Erebus's propeller, and he's fixing it. And we don't know if it's a hallucination or not, but he sees the body drifting towards him and just freaks out from it. And I think anyone would freak out about it, because I mean, it's buddy may have known the man for all you know, and unfortunately, you see this man floating towards you as a corpse. It's just gotta be, and all you can do, you're sitting on a wooden plank with ropes holding you still, and all you can do is just sit there and yank on a rope until someone picks you up, which is really, really disturbing. But the terror from it and the look up from it, it's such good writing. But I sat with this guy, and then he ends up like talking to a doctor about his mind and how it feels like something's wrong with his mind, and a doctor says, like, he's like, if you're dealing with this or this, I can do this for you, but all I can say for this is go spend time with people, go have fun, do something fun, and it'll all be okay. He's like, and I think the guy's like, I feel totally alone. He's like, no one ever feels alone on a ship. He's like, I feel alone. So I found that interesting. The idea of being the thing is that I understand that, because I have been in groups of people and I have felt completely alone. And so the concept of it, where people are like, that makes no sense, and like, it makes absolute sense to me. I have had moments where I have felt terrified and I'm sitting in there and I'm like, I feel so alone. I'm like, I feel so alone. And I mean, I'd like be at a summer camp or something, and people would be being nice to me, but I, number one, never felt accepted or anything like that. But this is totally different from what this guy's thinking. This guy just feels no one's getting him and no one's understanding him, because of, for some reason or not. And then you see this guy later, and he just starts laughing and acting really aloof and all this stuff, just wandering around, giggling like, ah, ah. And then he like walks past someone who's like got attacked by the Tungbak, and he's like, ha 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 ha, oh, that's not good. And then you just see that he's completely out of his mind. And that's the thing that lead poisoning does, is it messes with your head and screws you up big time. So yeah, seeing that really got me, because like I said, I mean, I've never experienced lead poisoning or anything like that, but I have experienced the concept of being with a large group of people and feeling alone. And I'm like, geez, imagine that just coming up on you, and you already feel racked with pain, covered in bruises you never had because your muscles are bleeding internally. You have an old bullet wound that just starts seeping again because of it. Like, that's just terrible. I say it's horrendous. It can't be.
You are the one who poisoned us. Rat, tell the truth.
I just what those men went through. Just I don't think the thing is everyone said like, oh, if I was back in this time, I probably would be this or I probably would be this. I look at my life right now and everyone's like, well, in that time you'd probably be taken up differently then. And I'm like, with my luck, I'd be born some peasant person that's gonna die in the gutter. But for me, I looked at it, I'm like, I don't think I could have had the stones. I sit here and I'm a romantic at heart, both like historically and just in life in general. I love history. I love cultures of different type. Now, I am not a fan of like things that have happened in the past, where like cruel happened and the caste system and all that stuff. I am not for it. I probably would have had. If I was on a sailing ship, would I be able to follow orders? Yes, absolutely. I would have been able to follow orders. Would a person like me be fine with being talked down to and treated
Hello there.
like a lesser being? Because the way it worked on English ships is you did not go after. You did not like you. If you were a lower sailor, there were places on the ship you could not go, and there were places that only officers could go. It was pretty strict, and you had to prove your mettle to earn anything in the Navy. So and if you watch it Master and Commander, that's probably a good idea because one poor chap ends up taking on he ends up singing with the how can I say this nice? The regular men, and he was an officer. And this officer ends up like losing the respect of the crew because of it, and the man gets flogged because of it. And so they all
Good view from here.
there's a gesture called tugging your you tug your forelocks, and what it is like a hat tip. But they did it in a way where they were all around him and they were like moving in closer on him and stuff like that, intimidating him to no end, and he ends up picking up a cannonball and jumping over the side, and tragically ended himself because he thought he could never redeem himself from that. So, and I'm not saying that isn't a possibility of things that had happened on British ships. I mean, no one would probably put it to the record if it was something, because there are a lot of like very religious captains that if someone was to do that, they probably would downplay it as much as possible because religions sometimes frown upon suicide. And yeah, so but yeah, The Terror I highly recommend. It has a little bit of boat politics, so to speak. Like, oh, I wish this guy would be a little nicer and be a bit more friendly, and we're doing all this, and I've treated you like this, and I think we've grown apart, and I think you need to be friends, and yada 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 yada, and blah 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 blah. And so to me, I'm like, okay, a little bit about politics. All right, fine, sure, yeah, we need this. And it squares itself out. I do find it interesting that when the Tungbok is first around, that they initially think it's a bear, which I could see that. And the design of the Tungbok is interesting. I wouldn't say it is blow your mind cool. It's always described as a spirit in the form of an animal. And that is probably the best way of it being described. And it's starved for a soul, so to speak. So that's also an interesting thing. Because when you see it, there's one sequence where you see it kill someone, and it kind of shows that like their soul is being devoured from their body after they're brutalized, of course. And I didn't even need to stop at this temple. Oh my god. I wasted all that time. You know, I am fine with going a little longer just to see what this cutscene is. Okay. And the thing is funny thing, before people start asking me, no, the Tungbok is not of Inuit creation. It was actually created by the guy who wrote the book. It takes a few liberties from a few Inuit creatures, but it's nothing associated with the Inuit whatsoever. Yeah, it's a lot of people be like, well, that's just terrible. Why would you make up some monster? And it's not really that it's terrible. I think it's just a creative license. And he never said that this is a factual, and it's a fiction book. So with that in mind, you should like keep a mind as to like, this is fiction. They say it's fiction, and there should be no argument on it. And they're not like saying this is a factual thing that the Inuits believe and blah 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 blah. Let's get back to it. So I really don't have any qualms about it. A lot of people get really miffed about it though, because they were like looking at this show as like, oh, it's a answer to, it's a show depicting what may have happened on that. I'm like, it's based off of a fiction novel. We know the answers as to what happened. They ate each other. Oh, there she is. All right, let's see how this goes.
Over here. Where is your revered father? A province away.
Now, what was so important I had to meet you here?
Kiss me.
You're a clever woman. Guess.
Oh. Oh. Oh.
I'm guessing it's lust
Lust is a journey.
of 1,000 steps.
Begins with a kiss.
Just a reminder, we are an 18-plus channel. Though we don't openly talk on topics like this is something that we don't disallow here. So, we play mature video games. It happens.
I've wanted that for a while.
Huh, good.
It's good to be together.
Yes. Together. Forever?
I am.
Forever is a long time. But we can try.
All I ask is a lifetime. Or two.
That's cute.
I'll see you at...
I hope I'm pissing people off. I really am. This will definitely eliminate the bad people in my fan base, that's for sure. I made this choice. This was not forced on me by the game. I made this choice. I could have started it with Yusuke, but I thought that'd be predictable. So, I'm a rebellious woman. All right, and with that, guys, we are getting close to the end here. I will be sending you guys off to my good friends with Thousand Face TTRPG. Definitely excited about that. They are going through a campaign today. I think it's a different one from the last one I sent you guys to. So, ooh. I have people I have to kill. All right, we are getting more and more unwrapped here, so that's good. My journey has been completed. We have a friend. You. We have to take on the Twisted Tree, so I think that's what we're going to be... Oh, we need to go to a Nobunessa thingy. So, yeah, fun. Alright, so let's head back to our shindig. Where is my palace? There it is. It's not a palace, it's a hideout. But anyway, so yeah, this video will be up tomorrow at 4:30 p.m. U.S. Central Time on YouTube. The other video should be up now. And as far as our schedule goes, we will be in Monster Hunter Wilds on Tuesday. We will be in not Assassin's Creed. We will be in we will be in Ark Ascended on Thursday, where we'll be starting the big split. And then we will be in this game on Saturday. So, lucky us. So, yay. I seriously have only taken out 2 of these guys. No, I've taken out 3. Never mind. But, yeah. So, I am... So, I am excited about that, so... I like this roof. Oh. Yeah. Okay. Sorry, I am getting lost in customizing. So, yeah, that's that. Remember to follow, like, and subscribe. We definitely appreciate that big time. Definitely helps us out. Um, also, following gets our videos recommended and stuff like that, and subscribing gets rid of those pesky ads and helps out the channel directly. So, we greatly appreciate all your input on that, guys. Don't forget to check out our stuff on YouTube, where everything since day one has been posted. And just go check it out. Enjoy a few videos. Have a laugh. We keep trying to change things up on the channel as much as we can. And slowly and steady, we're getting things figured out. So I've been enjoying it so far. We're coming up on our 2nd full year in July, and I am just super excited about that. I will be taking a vacation in July. I'll get more on that when things go. So I will probably be doing some episode prep where I've got a few where I'm going to just be posting a few episodes like different days and getting it taken care of so that you guys have stuff posting while I'm gone. So other than that, though, guys, I have nothing else to say. So we're going to get you guys switched over to the raid. And as for me, remember, guys, get out there, discover, explore, create, innovate, and we will see you here next time on Spartan923 Gaming. Take it easy. Have a good night. And off to Thousand Face cosplay. Ah, good times.